Good afternoon, everyone, friends and colleagues. I'd like to say welcome to another session of our Organ House Concert and Seminar Series. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Dupe Kachi. And for those of us who weren't able to join us last week, can I officially welcome you to a new year? Happy New Year. I hope you're refreshed. I hope you are ready and geared up to join us for another wonderful session or series of our Organ House Concert and Seminar Series. For those of us who were here last week, thank you so much for joining us for our reading session of Professor Agawu's book. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for the contributions that you made, for the discussions that we had. You are very welcome to this space. As you all know, this comes to you from the music department of the Mountain Top University, which we affectionately call the Organ House. It is a safe and welcoming space for all of us, scholars, composers, performers, educators, and lovers of music. It is a space for us to explore, create, and share. We're all about diving deep into music research and performance with a special focus on the incredible musical and cultural heritage of Nigeria and Africa. It is a place where we champion new ideas, where we critically approach ideas to music that are both locally relevant and globally resonant. I'd like to think of this place as a home for all our musical passions. Here we freely share ideas, we freely ask questions, and we freely make suggestions. I am so excited for this particular session that we are having. I would also like to tell us to please engage on all our social media platforms so that you can be kept abreast on all the information that we have, for you. We have our WhatsApp group, we have our channel on X, we have our channel on Instagram, but most especially our YouTube page. Here we have curated very interesting conversations for your information and for your learning. During the course of our discussion, all the links will be sent to the chat box so that you can click and follow us for relevant news. Most importantly, I'd like to remind you of our symposium coming up in a few months, but we are calling for papers for all our professors, our lecturers, our scholars to please send in their papers, so that we can have a very interesting symposium. All the links will be sent in the chat. Once again, you are most welcome. On today's episode, we will be focusing on the life and legacy of our very own Mr. Ebenezer Ekundayo Omole, a music education stalwart, a teacher of teachers, and an organist extraordinaire. We have today our discussants. I would like for them to unmute their microphones and introduce themselves one by one. I hope we're all there. Let's start with Dr. Bayo. Please introduce yourself, unmute your mic, and then just tell us a bit about yourself. Hello, Dr. Bayo. Are you? Yes. Please unmute yourself and briefly introduce yourself, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Dupe. Thanks for the meeting. My name is Bayo. I work with the Organ House. That's the music department of the Mountain Top University. And I think is that okay for now?
Yes, that's very okay for now. Thank you for setting the ball rolling.
Okay, thank you so much.
Dr. Samuel Ajose, please unmute yourself and just give us a brief introduction.
Okay, good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Samuel Ajose. Well, in the context of this conversation, I was once a student of Baba Omole. and I currently lecture at the University of Ibadan. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Mr. Dayo Adeniji, if you're there, please unmute your mic and give us a brief introduction.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dayo Adeniji, one of the students of Ekundayo Ebenezer Omole. I'm presently a music educator and a choir master in All Souls Church, Lekki, Anglican Church.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dayo Adeniji. Mr. Segun Daniel, are you online, sir? Okay.
Yes, I'm online. Good afternoon,
fantastic.
everyone.
Yes.
My name is Segun Daniel. I was once by Omole. I personally work with him since the previous school as the piano teacher. I guess this is still okay for now.
Yes, thank you so much. Going forward, sir, I would need your microphone, your audio to be very sharp and clear so that we can enjoy your conversations. But thank you so much for joining us today. Mr. Mayokun, are you online with us, sir? Okay, it looks like you are not, but we're still expecting Mr. Mayokun. I think he's having a bit of an audio challenge, but I'm sure we would get to him. He would sort it out before the end of this conversation. Okay, so as I said, we're dedicating today to focus on the life and legacy of Mr. Ebenezer Ekundayo Omole, who passed on to glory a couple of months ago. Now, to give us a bit of, or to set a background to today's discussion, Nigeria's economic and political challenges of the late 1970s had a devastating impact on music education, particularly with state schools. The early 1980s, however, heralded a new era announcing statewide community music education and choral music initiatives in Lagos. Mr. Ebenezer Ekundayo Omole was one of the three pillars of this new movement in Lagos. By 1980, Mr. Omole and his colleagues had launched the Lagos State School.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Who's speaking? Is that Mr. Mayokun? Okay, let me go on. By 1980, Mr. Omole and his colleagues had launched the Lagos State School Choral and Community Music Outreach, a twofold initiative aimed at empowering communities through music education and a statewide school choral music program. Within the first decade, more than 500 primary and secondary school music teachers were trained. In 1990, the Lagos Ministry of Education appointed Mr. Omole as the head of its music and music education unit. His community music outreach and intra-school choral festivals and competitions not only changed the musical landscape of Lagos State schools, but also institutionalized and laid solid foundations for school music competitions as a culture and community outreach, a culture that still resonates in Lagos and beyond. The impact of Mr. Omole's initiatives and works resonates across generations among musicians, educators, scholars, administrators, church musicians, and clergy, many of whom acknowledge and trace their professional and career formation to the pathways he helped create. Join us in this session as we reflect on the life, work, and enduring influence of Mr. Ebenezer Omole's music empowerment initiatives, while also considering what his legacy means for a new generation of Nigerian and African music teachers, musicians, scholars, administrators, and church musicians. So I am going to be calling on our discussants to, share their views. But before I open the floor, I'd like to also remind us that during the course during the course of our discussion, you might have questions or comments that you would like to share. Please write them down so you don't lose track of your thoughts, because I'm sure most of us have one thing or the other to say about Mr. Omole's legacy. So please write them down. Now, I will be calling on Mr. Segun Daniel. Are you there, sir? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Segun Daniel, you're there?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, so very quickly, can you please tell me, how would you describe Mr. Ebenezer Ekundayo Omole in 3 words, if that's possible?
It's very possible. Mr. Ebenezer Omole was a great man. Of course, every one of us knows that. Just like you said from your some of the things that you said, he was a teacher of a teacher, no doubt about that, a pianist, an educator, so to speak, and then it was just it was not just that. He was also a father, a mentor to thousands of so many other people. I think I've even said more than 3 words.
That's like this. I think you've described him in like 5 or 6 words already. So thank you so much, sir. So let me ask this. I believe you were a foundation member of the Lagos State School Choral.
I hope I'm not so emotional about the matter.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said, sir. Could you say that again?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Now, can you please provide insights into what the Lagos State School Choral was about and how you think it has impacted on people? Mr. Segun Daniel, did you hear the question? Hello, Mr. Segun Daniel, are you there? Hello, are you there, Mr. Daniel? Okay, now I think we should move on. Mr. Mayokun, are you able to communicate with us now?
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can hear me now.
Fantastic. It's so good to have you, sir. So please, could you first briefly introduce yourself?
All right. My name is Abiodun Mayokun Olaifa. I was once a student of Baba Ebenezer Ekundayo Omole, and I really enjoyed working with him.
Wow, fantastic. And you were a foundation member of the Lagos State School Choral?
Yes.
Okay. So as a member, could you please tell us what your experience was like, and how was it? What was it like to be part of such an initiative?
Lagos State School Choral, it was an opportunity for most students who have passion about music, and it really helped a lot of us as a then, even now. And when Mr. Omole came in as our tutor, as our teacher then, Mr. Omole is a gentleman. I can describe him to be a gentleman and a perfectionist. He's a musicologist to the core. And you see, Mr. Omole will even see beyond what you yourself can see. Most of us today, we say we don't want to do music, but Mr. Omole will tell you to go and read music instead of any other course. And today, I can tell you for free that a lot of us are back into that line which he predicted for us then. That is just what I can say. So it has a very positive impact on most of us that were members then of the Lagos State School Choral.
Fantastic. Could you talk a bit more on the impact it made on your musicianship?
Okay. As a member of Lagos State Schools Choral, when I joined, Mr. Omole wasn't our teachers at that time. We met, I think we met one Mr. Lukula. It was after Mr. Lukula left that they brought Mr. Omole. And I cannot see, I'm not comparing here, but the style Mr. Omole brought, even if you're a dollar, you understand, you will understand. Mr. Omole was ready to teach you, like they will open your brain and just put music there, because it will go so low, it will go down to make sure that regardless of his status, you understand, he wanted everybody to know it without stress, and you enjoy doing it. Not just that you are being forced to do it, you enjoy doing it. And personally, I can tell you that today I didn't regret it at all. I really give kudos to him. I pray may his soul rest in perfect peace. Mr. Omole has been there as a father and as a mentor. All glory be to God. Do you understand? So I'll miss him. But well, we just have to take it the way it is. So for me, it has had a very good impact positively into my life.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayokun. Thank you so much for that. Let me go over to Mr. Segun Daniel. I think I don't know if you're back online. Mr. Segun Daniel,
yes,
are you?
I'm back online.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm back online.
So I was going to ask, as a foundation member of Lagos State School Choral, can you provide insights into what the Lagos State School Choral was about and how you think it impacted people?
Okay, Lagos State School Choral was made up of students from different schools in Lagos State, and we used to have a meeting at the Dupe College, school management board inside the Dupe College. There was a hall there, and so you see different students from different schools, gather in that place. And just like Mr. Mayokun said, it's like the whole thing is coming to life now. Like they're just singing the whole thing that you all are here, in that place. All right. So it was made up, like I said, it was made up of students from different schools, and they had the opportunity. I was among them. They had the opportunity of advancing music knowledge. All right, we were just doing, because of the love that we have for music, we were just doing it. And obviously, I never thought that I could study music, because at the end of the day, just like Mr. Mayokun said earlier, if you are the sorry to use the word, the strongest, somebody will make sure that you actually understand this thing called music. We're doing music and music theory. Thereafter, of course, it will prepare some of us who wanted to go further, prepare us for music exams, Trinity College of Music, and all of that. Okay. And then the impact that actually had, over most of us is the fact that, aside the fact that we were doing, it's a place for us to learn. And when we learn, most of us will go back to our various places like churches, and practice. It's like, that place is more where you learn. And as you learn, you go further, to practice what you have learned. And, it was just like that. And I want to tell you that today, music in Lagos State grew so well and vast, because we hear of, even those that are not in schools, then most of them will come over because you tell someone will tell the other person that this is the place where it's happening, and then that's where you gather to actually learn music as it were. I remember in some occasions, as a pianist, I will be playing because we had a pianos in that place. I'll be playing my piano, in the hall. Before you know it, the family should be doing his own because it was fun, it was wonderful, and that attracted a whole lot of other people, even non-teaching staff. Those are just staff in the area. They were so interested in what was going on around that time. Let me just stop here because I believe that a whole lot of us that went to that in somebody taught, that went through in somebody, we didn't just keep the thing to ourselves because it wasn't just teaching. It was not just a teacher. It was a spiritual person. All right, somebody that will advise you. It's like someone that has gone through something and is telling you that this thing that you have, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, and this is how you do it. And if you do it that way, definitely you will get results. All right. I'm talking about a situation, a man who has been able to produce doctors, professors, so to say. Yes, I can say that. I may not mention their names, even in this state, Lagos State. Someone like Godwin Sado, Professor Godwin Sado went passed through, Mr. Omole, he passed most of his exams right Mr. Omole's room. We knew about that, we saw all of those things. Even some of the lecturers that you have in lab today, most of them passed through this man. It was just like that. So these are the impacts that you see,
Thank you so much.
Meeting this man called family. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Segun Daniel. I was going to ask if you could share a particular area you think the initiative impacted music education in Lagos. But I don't know if you still have any particular, maybe an anecdote or an example, a concrete example that you can share with us.
All right.
Yes.
And
let me say, and then what does that mean for us today?
Okay. Okay. Some of the impacts is that someone will usually organize trainings for music teachers in Lagos State, seminars, and competitions.
Can you hear? Are you still there? Mr. Segun Daniel, are you there?
Yes, I am. I don't know if you're hearing me. Hello.
Yes, I can
Hello.
I can hear you now.
All right. So like I said earlier, somebody will usually organize seminars for teachers, training for teachers, and these teachers also will in turn, gather their students, to be taught, from that vein that I said. Okay. Organizing choral festival, music competitions, and that, also helped a whole lot of students to improve. Even teachers themselves, I remember on one occasion when Professor Lasekome came around, we were having a seminar, Professor Lasekome came around and he conducted a kind of test for some of us. He had a presentation, by some of the students because we usually had what we call Lagos State Choir, which I was one of them. So and of course, he conducted the test, for music teachers in Lagos State. And wow, some of us were afraid that as a professor, and those of us that after that time I was just to be in the university. Actually, I was only depending on my certificates of music in from the Trinity College of Music. So I mean, some of us. So because of this, like I said, this gave few of us the opportunity to further study, because the outcome of the test Professor Lasokome conducted was not so very good, because few of us that were running, external exams, the professional exams, were able to make, pass the test. All right. So because of that, we had to get back to the university and to school to study music as it were. So these are some of the things, some of the gains of meeting the man beside Ebenezer Omole.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Mr. Segun Daniel, for that. I would like to pass the baton now to Dr. Bayo Oyemi. Dr. Bayo, if you could unmute your microphone. I gather that you cross paths with Mr. Omole as co-students at Ife. Could you tell us, about that?
Thank you, Dupe. Good afternoon, everybody, once again. Let me start by condoling the entire family of Omole. It's very sad that we have to lose Baba at this moment, but so that's how it be. My prayer is that God will repose his soul. Secondly, I also want to condole the entire music community in Lagos State, because I listen to all these things, my brothers, recalling their experiences with Baba Omole. It's very nostalgic. I became so emotional. I think we have met somebody, a big fish, as they left the ocean. More importantly, now referring to Baba Omole in the past sense. Actually, it brought me to the realization that Baba, it's no more here. Yes, may the good Lord grant him eternal rest. He has done his part and he has gone to rest, we believe, until the resurrection when we meet again to part no more.
Yeah.
Now, yes, to Baba, I met Baba at Ife. I call him Baba. We call him Baba at Ife. When he came and as at that time, Professor Gordon Sado was also a student. So my first encounter with Baba was very memorable. I will never forget. I've never met him prior to that time. I was playing piano in room 203, and this man just walked up to me and he said, "Can I say something?" I said, I looked at him. He looked like a lecturer, and he began to explain the history behind that sonata to me. Who could this be? I was surprised. I think I was in 100 level or thereabout then, and I said, that was my first. That was when I got to know that there are history behind this thing. The man was an encyclopedia. It was later that I got to know that that Baba, students will always talk. I raised a concern. Who is this Baba? And they said that Baba, that's the man that taught Sado. As at that time, we are junior to Sado. Sado was like a god. So who could have been this man who taught that Professor Sado how to play piano? That was my first encounter with him. Baba was distinguished, a scholar par excellence, embodiment of music, rhythm, everything, and usually very resourceful. Very, very resourceful. You see, one funny thing about him is that he's always willing to help. Call him anytime as a student, Baba Omole, please. He will put down his book. You could see that music was part of him. Music was integral. It was inbuilt in Baba. I call him anytime if he's going to the hostel. Yes, Baba, please, I don't understand this thing. So invariably, he became a pseudo lecturer to all of us. It became a pseudo lecturer to all of us. When you have issues, you run to Baba. When you have this thing, you run to Baba. And he was there for all of us. Eventually, he became the president of because I have to mention this, he became the president. We had no option. He automatically became unopposed, I could remember, the president of the association because he was a leader. He was a light. We all looked up onto him. The funny thing was that I think Professor Sado was ahead of him. Because he came and Professor Sado was ahead of him. Despite that, the humility, I must point out that. Till Baba departed, he would always call me Oga Bayo. I began to wonder, how could I be Oga to Baba Omole? How could I be Baba to Oga Omole? So we lost a gem. That's it. We lost a gem. We lost a real gem, not only a real gem, a music personified. Now let me go further because apart from Ife, when we left Ife, we came to Lagos and he became a consultant to all of us, And we also met again at Unilag. And he repeated the same experience I had with him at Ife. He repeated. Now, funny enough that we became closer. We became more intimate. We shared thoughts together. And I was like a junior brother to him. Now, to cap it all, I said Baba was resourceful. To us in Organ House, he was a resource person. I could remember at the beginning of Organ House, Baba Omole was there. It was right there. And let me tell you why we will always appreciate Baba Omole. You know, there's this process when you want to establish a music department, then you have everything ready, then NUC will come. We call it resource verification exercise. Baba was part of the team from in-house. Now he became a consultant. I think Professor Abat was actually the chair. Became a consultant. And I think a few days before the arrival of the NUC theme. And this thing, if the NUC says no, you can't commence activity. We suddenly realized that the library was empty. And library was actually a very cogent, a very germane criteria. Without that library, we will not be accredited. Then we started looking at ourselves. How do we sort out this? I think it was Professor Albert. Professor Albert just turned to Baba and said, Baba, what do you have to give us? Within 24 hours, I'm very serious about it, and I'm proud to say, Baba supplied all the books that we need in the library. They are still there. We had to stay almost overnight, stamping that it brought all with like miracle. And you know how difficult it could be to get music books. Group dictionary, we had complete in NTU as I speak to you. And funny thing, it was not asking for pay. It was later that it was paid. He's concerned because this is music department. He's concerned that thing must scale through. I mean, he could have said, pay me, let me go and bring this thing. He departed. Before we knew it, he had come with a whole lot of things. We still have them. We still have them. And that was what the NUC used to accredit us.
Thank you.
Nothing could be more than that. Thank you. Let me rest for now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bayo. To you, he was an encyclopedia. He was distinguished. He was an embodiment of music.
Yeah.
In fact, he was humble and very resourceful.
Very humble.
And selfless. You've answered the question I was going to ask you. Are there aspects of his academic approach and life that you think a new generation of Nigerian teachers and scholars can learn from? If you can just maybe mention 3 things or 2 things just to wrap up your section.
Okay, you see, what I say about him is that to the up and coming musicologist, you see, first thing is that know your art. That is one thing I learned from Baba. He didn't go out without having that he was well equipped. First and foremost, he was well equipped before he began to step out. So know your art. That is very germane, because at no point will you meet Baba and he will not turn himself into music. He comes around. He used to come around the organ to interact with our students, to talk to them about theory of music, harmony. He will recommend books to you. So you could see that he understood the art of music making. And another thing I will advise them is that he was not just only a book musician, he was a practicing musician. He was a practicing musician. That's distinguished. He will not just tell you, he will explain. When we were on the undergraduate level, there was Baba Sot in Sierra Leone who was teaching us, I think, not rudiment of music, one very rhythm or something like that. Immediately that Baba leaves class, Baba Omole takes over on our request, and you could see that the man understood the practice of music in total. So those are the few things I will encourage our young boys. Don't rush for fame. First of all, grab the art, then the fame will come.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dupe. Thank you.
Couldn't have been clearer than that. Thank you. Know your art. So I would hand over the baton to Mr. Dayo Adeniji. If you're there, could you just say something? I'm sorry, I see some hands up. We will be able to get to the questions and the contributions after our discussants have gone round. Prof. Okwade, I'm so sorry, sir. I see your hand up. I acknowledge you, sir. But I just want us to get through all of these discussants, and then we would open the floor to everyone else who has questions or comments. So, Mr. Dayo Adeniji, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Fantastic. Good afternoon. So you worked closely with Mr. Omole as an assistant organist for many years.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what was it like to work with him as an assistant organist, and how will you explain his contribution to music education, particularly professional training and examinations?
Well, thank you so much, sis. A lot has been said about Baba. For me, because I have a perspective that is not academical, a little bit more spiritual, because we are in the church setting about Baba, and that will drag me a little bit to my first encounter with Baba Omole that time. I'm sorry, I have to make this short story. So there was another builder called Baba Fado. They were in that church to do the normal maintenance, and and from there they got to know that they need an assistant organist over there. So that man contacted me as one of his sons that we normally go to his workshop to practice. And after that, okay, I go back home and I start telling my older and elderly people that I know that they are older in the field that I'm supposed to go and have an interview in this so church, and they said, Mr. Omole, and I said, don't go there. That man, he's very tough. He's going to come. Everybody, do you have a personal one-on-one encounter with him? Oh, no, that's what people said. Well, okay. So for about 3 people that I make inquiry from, they say, what they are giving me is negative. I say, okay, but they've not been able to have a personal one-on-one encounter with them, maybe because of the part of the environment we have. Okay, I just said to myself, okay, I will just go there. If I'm going to stay, and if I'm not going to stay, let me see for myself. But fortunately for me, when I got to that church, though there is a kind of tension, politics in the church, but Baba maturity and the way Baba took me at that moment. In fact, all the negative statements that people have been hearing, gossips and all that, is all not true. They are just not true. And from there, I learned a lesson that, please, from any third party, we shouldn't be hearing somebody talking about another person, except if you feel that thing yourself or that thing happened to you personally. Because at times, people talks, and for me, I didn't count it as something that is not that good, because no matter how we all humans, we have the positive and the negative side. So, but try as much as possible. That's the first lesson I learned from that encounter. So, Baba for me, I describe about Mole during his lifetime and when I was with him as an epitome of integrity, a man with love and hard working. It never compromised when it comes to the truth matter. Dedication, in terms of dedication, it dedicated service to God and humanity. So, Baba was tough. That is the only thing that I will accept from what I heard from the people that I made inquiry with them, because it's a disciplinarian. It doesn't take any. It doesn't compromise discipline. So that is what I can say on that. That's the first encounter and the story that I have behind it. Secondly, when I begin to study Baba very well, in fact, Baba took me like one of his sons, because Ayo and Bayo will all go back to his house. He will start the class. He will teach us. I was able to do some graded exam through him without charges. So then after that, he now asked me one day, Dayo, what are you doing now? I said, I'm trying to get an admission to Junad through this acquired program that they are doing that time. Okay, so that's fine. What course are you going to read? I said, I'm a science student. I have physics, biology, chemistry, and then so I want to go and see if I can get something like mathematics, statistics. I said, what? Why not study music? Only I can't because of my parents. But unfortunately, I lost my dad recently. Okay, that's fine. That is an open way for you. What Baba did was to write a few phrases on a paper. He said I should go and give it to the HOD, and the man look at me and look at the result, say, physics, chemistry, biology. What do you want? What is the relationship between this and the music that you have? I have a grade 5 Muson exam, and that's why I got a stamp. Bam! I was able to be a bachelor in music education through this man. Without him, I don't know. I don't know where I would have been. So that is another short story and a personal encounter I have with this man. So this man, I don't know, is a teacher of teachers. It's a great sense of his great sense of mentorship as is second to none, and also a life coach. Baba is a man of fairness. He doesn't like cheating, and is very bold, always bold to say the truth, even in the church. So Baba, for me, the man I know Baba much more. He dedicates most of the time to the church service more than the other aspects, though, because always there's no time when I wait that we see Baba in the church. There's no services that we are in that church that Baba will be there also. So that is my encounter with him, and then Baba was very sweet to work with. So that is all about that. Then secondly,
okay, please go on. Please go on.
Yes, you talk about his contribution to the music education, particularly to professional training.
Yes.
And yes, for me, I will describe that into 5 points. Baba's impact on the student when it comes to professional music. There is no student of Baba, though I'm still young, that you will see the element and the mode of teaching of Baba inside them. Because of the way and the method he will use to teach you, there is no way he will teach you that you will, at least you will get something out of that class. Secondly, the curriculum development. Baba has his own personal school of music, and it designed. I'm one of the students in the classic school of music, and I have my diploma through him, a personal school of music. So when it comes to community engagement, yes, that's another aspect that I think Baba contributed. Community engagement. I remember those days when we have a carnival for Christ, when Lagos was still Lagos Highland and then just the mainland. So Baba was the one that assisted James Adekunle as a assistant choir master. So they did a lot of concerts to the community, a lot of programs yearly. So under that, I think Baba is also a good, contribute a lot of things in that aspect. Then we have an improvisation and creativities. Yes, that is why we go back to that. His creativities, the mode of teaching level, Baba get it right. There is nobody that passed through Baba that won't say, I learned this from him, I learned this from him, I learned this from him. So everybody, we all get a very good and positive things from his techniques. So my prayer is that God should continue to uphold the family at the moment of
Amen.
grief and grant Baba Ebenezer Ekundayo Omole eternal
Amen.
rest in the Lord. Baba
Amen.
he came, he saw, and he conquered. He has done it bits, and his legacy is written on the world platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dayo Adeniji. There seems to be a thread running through our discussants about his style of teaching, that no matter how you feel you don't understand, by the time he teaches you, you will understand. He was a very passionate teacher. I'm getting that across all the discussants, and according to you, although it might have been tough, but he knew what he was doing. He was passionate about also professional examinations. He made sure that everyone who came around him did those professional music examinations. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Adeniji. Now I come to Dr. Samuel Ajose. Sir, are you there, sir? Can you please?
Yes, I am here. I am here.
Fantastic. Good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
You you are an alumni of the Lagos State School Choral. Could you just briefly tell us about your experiences and what role did that initiative play in the development of music education in the community and its impact on across participating schools? So your experiences as an alumni and the role that the initiative played in the development of music education in the community and its impact across participating schools.
Okay, thank you. I have so much to say, but people have said all I want to say. But I will just, like we do in scholarship, when you provide a statement, you provide evidence. I just provide evidence that speak to all of these people's encounter with Baba. My own encounter with Baba was kind of strange. And you see, everybody has a story to say. So let me also enter that conversation with my story. I was in secondary school, of course, a state-owned school, and then the music teacher just came. I was just passing through the physics lab, and I heard them singing Ogun song, what you call Egun. And then because I'm from that community, so I just entered into the physics lab. How can I be practicing a good song and I'm not here as the school keyboardist or pianist, if you want to call it, because I was the official secondary school pianist. Oh, wow. And then they were struggling with the dance. I taught them as somebody in SS1 or thereabout. And then they said they were going for Lagos State School Festival. I said, where is that? In this school, you did not call me there. Anyway, they dragged me along. And that was the first time I entered into Dupe College. I was amazed at, I can't remember the name of that hall. Maybe Igbobians or Igbobites can remind me what that hall, very large hall in Igbobi. I think it's like the major hall. And I saw a lot of young people doing music. I was like, what is this in this Lagos? Because we're only exposed to choral music in churches. I've not seen it, even though I led the school choir. Anyway, that experience changed me till tomorrow. So we sang. I didn't even know it was a competition. So we went, and Baba Omole, I think we didn't get into the first 3 position. So the following year, then somebody said, look, we meet here every day. And anyway, that was where I joined Lagos State School Choir. So I was coming from Igomu to Igbobi every week. I was going twice a week, self-sponsored. And that experience, I'm happy that everybody talked about how Baba Omole led them into music, converted into music. I was also a convert of Baba Omole into music and music studies. So we go there every day. People talk about how Baba Omole can teach the dumbest. Sorry to use that word. I'll give you an example. We were singing oratorios. Baba Omole was teaching us by rote. You know what it means by rote? He will play it. Tan, 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 tan. It teaches that way. Imagine teaching oratorio. It will sing soprano. For unto us a child is born. And we delivered great anthems using that route. Very few people could read music among us. Very few people. So that is the extent at which Mr. Omole's, choral pedagogical style is that simple. We did great anthems. We were performing for state choir, state functions when the former governor, Mawa, the military governor, we were performing and we were singing anthems. I can't imagine somebody teaching secondary school young people, teaching them by rote, no tonic sulfur. Very few people could read Ajayi, and maybe myself and very few people. I'm to say Ajayi, sorry. And then another encounter, so I talk about is, that method of teaching. Another thing, one of the ways it converted all of us again, I usually get to the practice place on time to practice the piano. I was doing my Muson grade 4 grade something that time. And Baba Wale walked to me and said, "Oh boy, if you study music, you'll never regret." I said, "What is this?" Of course, and it was not fashionable to study music. You cannot tell. So I was like, that word is still on my head till tomorrow. He said, "If you study music, you will not regret." And that was a very strong, a transformative statement for me. So I was encouraged to say, I'm going to study music. And I got, of course, I've studied music and I'm still studying music. Talking about the school choir, and there's a perspective I will bring from this that I'm sure some people didn't touch from my own encounter. That experience brought a lot of young people into good choral music tradition, which unfortunately has died now. Because of that initiative, the Lagos State School Choral Competition and Lagos School, there was a festival even beyond the competition. I'm not sure anybody talk about the festival. The festival, we stay in Igbobi for days, camp, doing choral music, instrumental music. The first time I saw tuba in my life was at that event. The guy that was playing the tuba is bigger than the guy. I was like, how can somebody? So that changed the choral music landscape in Lagos. I can say that for a fact because many of us were in church choirs, were music organist and all that. So we got exposed to singing, and then we got new materials, and that was what led to. I'm sure that was what informed Lagos shell choral competition. Shell choral competition came much later. It's a product of that. Because I think because Lagos State government were not funding the event, so it died, and then Shell took up that. But that period, music became very, very vibrant. Choral music became very vibrant in schools, assembly. I attended a state school. We were singing classical music twice a week, every week, and I was the official accompanist because that experience changed, my perspective of music. And I can count a lot of people. All my ones who have spoken, they are all encounters of this. One more people talk about is resourcefulness. I stand to be corrected. Mr. Omole, apart from Mumbo, Mr. Omole would be his classic school of music. I think his classic. No, people didn't talk about his classic school of music, but in terms of resourcefulness, apart from Mumbo School of Mumbo Music something store, Mr. Omole should be the second largest music store in Lagos. You go to you see Professor Bayo talked about how he would supply them books. I was not surprised. In fact, if they wanted 2 of that, Mr. Omole would do that. You find books and media materials. If you don't find them anywhere, you likely get them at Mr. Omole's house. And talking about the impact of the school's choral music, it's Lagos State choral music, that shaped choral music landscape in Lagos, at least for those of us who were with him late 90s up to this time. Unfortunately, that tradition has died. It's no longer in existence because the government didn't pay attention to that. And that initiative of Baba Omole, unfortunately, was not sustained. If that was sustained, maybe the grip hip-hop music has on our young people now may not have it. I'm not discrediting hip-hop, but that was a major shift in choral music landscape in Nigeria. And then just one more. Baba Omole, his sense of humor in choir practice is second to none. There's a friend we call Element. It took all of us a long time to know that that friend's name is not Element. In fact, I saved his name as Element. It was after many years, and I said, what is your name? I said Element. He said, no, my name is not Element too. It was Baba Omole who gave him, you this stupid Element. Jokingly. So, all of us started calling it. Tomorrow I'm sure some people will Element. Baba Omole has very deep sense of, humor in practice, very jovial and tough. So it's a combination of fun and labor. But all of this shaped us into who we are. I will rest my case for now. Thank you.
Before you round off, sir, could you give us a perspective on, as the president of the Nigerian Guild of Organists, how would you explain the position of someone like Mr. Omole in the development of church music and sacred music across mainline churches in Lagos?
Yes, so let me speak first, church music, and then I come to the Guild of Organists. Somebody talk about Jesus Festival or something. They used to do it at. I'm not an Anglican, but of course, through Babamole and the likes, about James Adekunle, I drank, massively from the Anglican well. Babamole was a phenomenon in those periods. You see Pa James Adekunle's name, and he worked closely with Pa James Adekunle. At that time, Babamole was a strong figure because he was inspiring new generation of organists. Training, you can see them, all of my guys who have spoken. It was inspiring new generation of organists who were shaping, organ music. I mean, it's not the noise we have now. I mean, you have very deep organists who went through Baba and who are doing very fantastic, but they were very quiet. And I think they took that from Baba. Baba was effective, but it was not loud. It was very highly effective. It was not loud. So I can see all of his mentees, taking that. On the side of Guild of Organists, unfortunately, Babamole passed, when we were just going to, enjoy much of his expertise. He served. It was in 2022. He was appointed as one of the board of trustees, of the guild, and he did so well that in 2024. Together with other committees, they start to review, and that's one area of Baba again, curriculum expertise, to review the guild's certificate playing program. He brought his expertise as an educator, as a musician, as a church musician, as an organist to that committee, and they reviewed that program. We were just about to start before he passed, so we lost the opportunity of having him to be one of the early first examiners in that regard. So Babamole silently has been able to influence a generation of organists, choir masters, and music directors whose thinking is impact work. Ayo Oladele is a product. So you can see many of them very rigorous, hardworking people. They are back to back. We learned that from Babamole. So his legacies in terms of church music, I'm sure will continue for years, and I'm sure many of his products will continue to. I pray and I hope that many of his products will continue to push these legacies further and forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samuel Ajose. Wow, we've had so many amazing words said about Mr. Ebenezer Omole. Very resourceful, very simple teaching style, curriculum development expert, sense of humor. It's obvious that we have lost a giant and a stalwart, and we're grateful for his legacy. Now, I would like to open the floor to our dear listeners, our colleagues who have been listening patiently. If you have anything to share, any anecdotes about Baba Omole, anything you would like to add to this discussion, please, you have the floor now. I don't know if Professor Okwade is still willing to ask or to make his contributions.
Thank you, the coordinator, and the Happy New Year to all of us. And thank you to Organhouse for sustaining this series. I'm happy you did not even call me much earlier. Because usually this time I'm always on the wheels, just going to my own workshop. Since you are also a workshop, where I say you work and chop. I'm just going to the office. Thank you. Well, I want to say that all the things they have said and all those who have spoken, all those spoke well. All of them spoke very well. The only aspect that I think they did not touch, which somebody lightly touched, He was an activist. People will not know. Mr. Omole was an activist. But let me start from here. We met at Muson, the early days of Muson, as piano teachers. Myself, himself, Professor Loko now, Professor Lusoji. I think just 4 of us then, if I remember very well. And the first time I saw him, few days I went to meet you, I said, "Sir, I don't like the way you are asking your name. Are you sure that's your name?" He said, "Yes, Omole." I said, "No. By now you be asking Babali. I no longer Omole, you are Baba. So we call you Mr. Babali." Then he laughed. That's how we became friends. Mr. Omole will come down to your level. He doesn't want to look at you, I'm older than you. And he respects everybody's position. We also had the opportunity of teaching together at the now Lagos State University of Education. If I'm right, I think by God's grace then I was the head of the department when he came to join us as adjunct professor there. And this man will do his work. He will not come late. He will give extra time. He will submit his scripts on time. What I'm saying about what is an is that when you look at he must have grown from a very organic environment. And when I mean organic, or I'm talking of local. So we don't like word local. If you're a local girl, you're a local boy, I congratulate you. That yes, it's more organic. You study the environment very well. Mr. Omole represented what music was in traditional Africa. In old Africa, music is not just for entertainment, it's beyond entertainment. It's to correct the ills of the society, it's to appreciate, to motivate. That was what he represented. We've had an encounter together when we get to press home some demands when we were in Busan. He was in front. In fact, because he was there, I felt much more comfortable at home to face that fight, even when others were trying to draw back. I mean, he was much, much older, more experienced. And when we had that short, informal meeting, so to say, about quality, so I said, "Oh, I can ride with this man." And we pressed and pressed and pressed. Now, look here, these are the things that must happen to those who are teaching here. He didn't run back. He didn't. He was an activist and a constructive one, not violent. Yes, when he talks with all his energy, but he was never a violent man. He was that was just his nature. I would describe Mr. Omole as an unsung hero when he was alive. It's a pity we are singing his praises now. In fact, I think if anybody can work on him at tertiary level as a project, discussing an unsung hero.
Yes.
The life and works of Ebenezer Ekundayo Omole. God bless your Ghana. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that different perspective that you brought to us. He was an activist, and we do need activists today. Thank you so much, sir. I don't know if anyone has any contributions. I am going to call on Abiodun George. I gather she's having a problem with her raising her hand. So please unmute your microphone, ma'am, and just please say a few words. You unmuted yourself now. Abiodun George, please unmute yourself again and let's just have a few words.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so good to be here.
Yes.
In a few words, Baba Omole was a father to me, right from late 90s. So I've been friends with his kids and up to death. And we worked together at TKE School of Music. That is Music School of the University of Lagos, mainland. And what I can say about Baba is a very, very, very hardworking man. very hardworking, even more than us that are younger ones there. Baba will always come all the way from Ibadan to mainland. He made its impact till even Baba came till he could not go out again. Even when we said, Baba, you have to stay at home to take care of yourself, he came till he could not come out again, and he will be greatly missed. And one thing I've learned from Baba is that it is commitment to work, humility, and as organists that are coming after the generation, I learned from him that we take our jobs as a ministry and not just for the pay alone. I pray God grant him eternal rest. But the certainty is that his legacy lives on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abiodun George. Dr. Samuel Ajose wrote in the chat, yes, he was an unsung hero. He made news without noise. He does not rob anyone of their rights and privileges. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Ajose. So if we do have any last words, or if anyone else has anything to say, we would invite you to please say it now. Raise your hand so that we can call you up, and so that you can, share your experience on how Mr. Ebenezer Omole impacted you academically, professionally. Would really like to hear your views. And I would also want our discussants to be on standby with their last words. If you could capture Mr. Omole's impact in one word or phrase, what would it be and why? That would be our last word from all of our discussants today. So please be on standby, so that we can round it off and have a very nice closing. So would anyone else like to share anything on
I raise my hand, ma'am. I raise my hand again.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Just forgive me for coming. I just remembered something that is also jamming that we should talk about. Most of those who have spoken here have said, well, this was a man who would encourage you to study music as against studying any other profession. I think something that also stands out. I think I stand corrected. Please correct me. Those who are much closer to him. His children also studied music. Am I right?
Can
Yes,
anyone?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I met Ayo. I hope I think his name is Ayo Omole, the first one. We met here in the US about a few weeks ago when we went for one of our friends' birthday, and we chatted. Something that struck my mind is, look here, go and look at people who have private hospitals or those who are in medicine. They want their children to study medicine. There's a family, I've forgotten the name now in Nigeria, it's from Edo State. All of them are accountants. Maybe some of us remember. Successful accounting family. Lawyers, we want them. Most people who studied music, or as you call them, who are musicologists, not all of them are bold enough to say, guy, go and study music. Baba Omole believes so much with music, you can also do whatever that person is doing in that profession. And that's why things are changing now. Things are changing now, curricula are changing. Because what an average person you want to look at, okay, if he studies this course, what are you going to do with it? To bring more money for you. So I was someone I saw you here and we are talking about his late dad, and I said, look, how many of us here we say, you guys, yeah, I know you play piano very well, and that's okay. Why don't you go and study economics or engineering or business administration? Then you can just take music. But what he was preaching to other people's children, he succeeded in preaching it to his own children. I think that's a big plus. That's a big plus. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. He practiced what he preached. He wasn't like, do as I say, not only as I do as I say, not as I do. He put his money where his mouth was. Thank you so much for that. I have AY Director's hand up. Please, could you unmute your microphone and say a few words? Then afterwards, we'll have Dr. Oladele Ayorinde. But AY Director, I know who that is, but please unmute your microphone. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Age. Well, this is Dayo Ajayi speaking, and I owe a lot to Baba Omole. In fact, who I am today, I think it's who I am today. I can specifically say it's because of Baba Omole. I'm just going to give a few, just one or two incidents. I was in Baba Omole's class. Baba Omole has always been my teacher, my father, because he was my father's friend. They both played piano back in the 60s and 70s. They did Trinity, Ungbo, went to Ungbo school together. So my father sent me to him very early on when I was pretending to play the piano. So my father just said to me to him that, okay, instead of vamping, instead of playing all this nonsense, go to Mr. Omole at Coyote Street. So I started my journey from there. And then we also met again when I was trying to do, he was my teacher. He taught me harmony. And then I was already playing. People already saw me as a genius, composition, this and that. And then we got to class. We did one particular. Baba Omole gave us something to do, 4 parts harmony. And I quickly did it and submitted like, this thing is very easy now. Baba Omole just looked at my piece. I said, composition. You think you know it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ajayi, for our global audience, you'll have to interpret what you just said.
I know. I just said it in his words. He just said, and then what that meant was, okay, because you can play the piano or because you think you can play the organ, you think you already understand 4 parts harmony, you think you already understand composition. That changed my mindset a bit because, okay, yes, I have been writing music, I've been composing, I've been doing a lot of things. So does it mean that I still do not know 4 parts harmony? Do you understand? Baba Omole now took us through the voice leading, harmony, secondary dominance, all those things. And Baba Omole was a genius. He understands the theory, he understands harmony. As in, I've never seen anyone like him. And that's really helped me, even when I got to Professor Lazakweme, who is also a theorist. The first day I got to Professor Lazakweme's rehearsal and I tried to play and I played the piano, he looked at me and he said, okay, so what did you play? Give me this chord, give me this chord, give me this chord. And then because I had been in Baba Omole's class, I was able to prove myself. And Prof said to me, you are not a mechanic. I think, yes, you're good. You're good. You understand your harmony, you understand your theory, you're not a mechanic, because Prof thinks anybody who just plays and do not have deep knowledge of music and theory and harmony is just a technical person, is just a mechanic, according to Prof. So that's changed my mindset. I started learning harmony, composition, and all these things. A lot of times, Baba Omole will just call me up and say, Ayo, do you understand this concept? Do you understand this and this and this? And he will break it down to me. That's Baba Omole. We were very close. He taught me at different levels of my life. Even up till when he passed. I know that I still spoke to him a few months before he passed. And he encouraged me. He said, look, Ayo, if you do not study music, you're going to be a waste in this country. Because I wanted to do sciences. I was going to do engineering or something, Baba Omole insisted and said, Ayo, you have so much skills. Go and study music. And I took it seriously. I studied music. Then even when I got to the UK, he said, go and do your masters and make sure you do PhD. Ayo, Shogbo, Ogbeni, do your masters and PhD. So he's always been, he's encouraging, he encourages you. He encourages you a lot. And Baba is very blunt. Baba doesn't know how to say A is B. If it is white, it is white. Baba doesn't know how to call white black. Well, I appreciate God for his life. He's impacted a lot of people from Lagos State Choir. So I think one of the reasons why I decided I wanted to be a choral conductor was when I met him in 1991 in the ECOWAS conference in Abuja. He brought a choir. I think it was Lagos State Choir. And he conducted and they sounded really nice. Then I said to myself, I must be a choral conductor because of what I have seen. So Baba Omole was good. He is not just everybody can say a lot of things, but for me, I know Baba Omole was good. He understands the subject matter, he understands the music, and he is a good man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maestro Ayo Ajayi. Thank you so much. Dr. Oladele Ayorinde, please unmute your microphone.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for this, interesting gathering and point of reflection. So today, I'm going to make it very brief, but while I do that, I'm going to wear two caps. One is somebody from the organ house, then the other is from perhaps I joined the league of discussants and everyone who has contributed to this conversation. So thanks to the last two speakers, Mr. Ayo Ajayi and Professor Kwade. So I'm going to start with that word, Ogbeni. So the Ogbeni that Mr. Ayo Ajayi referenced to has a context, and it is not used for everybody. It is used for certain people and those who are very closer to him. So by the time you are getting to Ogbeni, it means there's a kind of connection with him. Perhaps you are a student. In fact, at that point, you have So then the other one is what Professor Kwade said. Mr. Omole was an unsung hero. And I'm glad Professor Kwade mentioned that. Is indeed was an unsung hero. I'll definitely get back to that as I round up. So the first point for me is it is quite painful also on the one hand, and on the other hand, of course, we need to accept the will of God to thank God for the life of Mr. Omole. Mr. Omole is many things to many people. Yeah, I can say that it's many things to many people. Yeah. To me, I think I'll just give one instance and I'll link it to what I said earlier. I was a mathematics student at Choral College of Education. Of course, I was an organist and I have some of my big brother here, Dayo, Adeniji. So we were like a sect. We go from churches to churches, and they are always at the front. They're the one playing the back, and we are always the one. Okay, when they are done with the back, we go to the organ and also mimic and play. So it was that kind of entourage of organ music. So we were doing AVRSM, of course. We were doing the big exams. The Muson was Muson at this time. Muson was the real. So the first thing you want to do with Baba Omole is, after he had discovered that, okay, you are into this thing, it's going to push you to write exams. And that was it. So we were within this, with Baba. I think it has now number 2 Adeniji off Kayode Street, Onipan. That's building, that's where we, So I had gotten admission at Taske. I went to pick my letter of offer. We have started class. I have paid so it was for me to go home on Friday to go to rehearsal because I play in church. Then I was also preparing for Muson grade 5. This is very early in the year 2000, I was planning for grade 5, and Baba was, of course, we have entourage of students, the Jazz of today, our Mr. Adeniji here, and the Omoles, Bayo Omole, Ayo Omole. Then we also have one of our big brother also, Element, Dr. Kumapai. I think it's also on this platform. It was a big house, Sunday use of all of them. Then I just walked in on a Friday and he told me, and I said, what's in class in I think your counterpoint to Yakotin grade 5 where Yakotin 3 parts sonata writing. And I told him, admission. And he was so excited. Admission, and we sat down. So I gave letter to him that, so I have come and finish my exercises and I need to go back to school. And he told me, can I see the letter? So I gave him the letter. It was admission letter to study mathematics. And he told me, Mati Kenny tan sorry. You to think she grade 5 already, to think play piano, to think play Kenny. Oh, why play to she music? Mo fe she music mo machine. Oh, mo machine. Do you know what happened? To cut the long story short, that was the last time I spoke about mathematics. That was the last time. The next thing he did was for me, he gave me address of Ijaniki. So go to Ijaniki right away and go and look for the HOD. Professor Kwade is here today. He was the HOD at the time at Ijaniki. So the day I went to Ijaniki, truly, it was the first time in my life I heard about anything called music department. All the music school I have in my brain is the Omoles and all the family thing we've done. So I got into Ijaniki. To my surprise also, Baba did not only send me to Ijaniki, he actually arranged for transportation for me and my feeding for that week. That was my first story, my first experience. So it was so good for me. It was a festival season. I think they were doing night of praise, whatever at Ijaniki. So I saw all the performances, the likes of Adejola of today. And I came back to him and I told him, look, this is so beautiful. He said, and that was how I started studying music. I forgot about mathematics and everything, and the rest is history. But one thing that is very important in this trajectory is, like everybody has explained today, is Baba's approach. If Mr. Omole, if you are one of the students, you cannot.
Hello, Dr. Ayorinde. Are you there? Dr. Ayorinde, I think we've lost you. Okay, while we try to get Dr. Ayorinde back, could I have one day you raised your hand? Just please briefly give us, your own insights into Mr. Ebenezer Omole. Please unmute your microphone, Mr. Wande, while we wait for Dr. Ayorinde to come back.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Very briefly,
please. Yeah, I'm
just
based in the
your
UK.
experience.
I've been here for 5 years now.
Okay.
No, I'm just giving a background because of where I am now, because of I'm traveling, so the noise and all that. Mr. Omole was a colleague because though he was a father and a grandfather, he took me as a colleague. I remember I started teaching 30 years ago, and straight from high school, and we used to attend the vacation course for teachers at Muson together. So he was one of the facilitators. When the current facilitator gave us an exam or a worksheet to work on, he would work on as a student and a participant himself and as a candidate himself. I will compare notes. If I get 40 and he gets 40, and I will smile at him and everything. He was a father, he was a mentor, but he took me as a colleague. Sometimes I'll get 40, he gets 39, and I'll smile and all that. So he took me as a colleague. So I respect him a lot. And then also his children now later joined music, making waves, invite me to where they are. I remember we had a vigil at one of the places close to us in VI, and I met his son playing the saxophone for the first time. It was only Ayo I knew at the time. I met his younger son, Bayo or something, and I met him on the saxophone, and I took it home. We spent the night together all the way through the night, because I was surprised that he had another son, and I was so impressed that this legend could have a son that was interested in coming home with me after the vigil. We did spend we couldn't close our eyes. We were just talking, reminiscing over old times and everything. May his soul rest in peace. I wasn't able to come for the funeral because of work and I'm not around. But I took I joined online, and I'm pay my last respect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wande. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that that perspective, that insight, with us. Thank you. So very quickly, to all our discussants, if you were to summarize Mr. Omole's impact in one word or phrase, what would it be? Very, very quickly. So let's start from Dr. Bayo Oyemi. One word.
Okay, thank you. One word. No. You said one phrase.
One word.
Seriously speaking, it has been an experience. I think let me go this way. Baba Omole was an enigmatic musicologist who made life in music and made music a living phenomenon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Segun Daniel, one word or phrase.
How would I describe it in summary about Omole? It was indeed a music legend. Would definitely miss me. That's all I can say for now.
Thank
was
you.
A music legend. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mayokun, are you there?
Yes. I would describe Baba Omole as a teacher extraordinaire and a father par excellence. I think that's how I would describe him. May so rest in peace.
Amen. Thank you so much for that. I don't know who else I haven't called. Dr. Samuel Ajose, one word or phrase.
Yes, let me use this opportunity to salute all my nurses that I'm seeing here. Yes, we have to do that so that it's not when people pass, we'll be greeting them. Baba Omole was a man of God. He was a man of God. And for everything God stood for and his values, Mr. Omole, I think he demonstrated them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, sir. Mr. Dayo Adeniji, one word or phrase to describe Baba Omole.
I think his life is a kind of a life that every human should emulate, every human being, because the ability to come, to acquire a lot, and then give back to the society, give back to the community, that is the excess of human in the entire race. So, and Baba Omole has it all. That is what I can say about him.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. This has been such an eye-opening insight into Baba Omole's life and legacy. Thank you to all our discussants who have shared their own perspective on the impact that Mr. Omole had on their lives. I was very honored and privileged to have met him at Archbishop Viney Memorial Church when he was the assistant organist there, and also in the University of Lagos. It was such an honor to have crossed paths with this legend. We should actually give honor to all our legends while they're still alive. And I'm grateful for the impact that he has made on each and every one of us. Now we have the responsibility to carry on this torch and light up everything concerning music education all around us, just as he did. He was passionate. He was just to read out some of, he had a sense of humor. He was passionate. He had a very simple and effective teaching style. He believed so much in professional examinations. He practiced what he preached. He wanted everyone to do music. And I'm glad that everyone here has nothing but high praise of him. Please, I implore us to go to all our circles to do exactly the same thing that Mr. Ebenezer Omole did. By doing so, we'll be carrying out and prolonging his legacy. I'd like to say thank you so much. Oh, I have a few chats here. I just saw someone say, Mrs. I'm sorry, I hope I do not murder your name, Mrs. Onwubualili. I'm so sorry. Mr. Omole indeed was a great father to all who crossed paths with him. May his soul continue to rest in peace. Yes. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. So this will bring us to the end of this Organ House concert and seminar series dedicated to the life and times and legacy and impact of Mr. Ebenezer Omole. Thank you all so much to our discussants. Okay, Adama, thank you so much for the comment. Thank you so much to all our discussants. Thank you, Dr. Bayo Oyemi. Thank you to Dr. Ajose. Thank you to Mr. Mayokun. Thank you to Mr. Segun Daniel, Mr. Dayo, Adeniji. Thank you to Professor Okunade. Thank you to Dr. Oladele Ayorinde. Thank you to everyone who had something to say. Mrs. George, Ayo Ajayi, Wande, Adama, and everyone else who had something to say about the legacy of Mr. Omole. I just saw Mr. Michael Bakari. Baba assisted me so much with my PhD program titled Historical Account and Choral Music Competition in Lagos State Schools, 1990 to 2020. May Baba continue to rest well. Thank you so much, everyone. Please be reminded of all our social media handles. It has already been posted on the chats so that you can follow us for more engaging conversations like this. Most importantly, we have our call for papers for our symposium. Let me see if I can share that very quickly. For our symposium, which will be happening here at the Organ House, Mountain Top University, on between the 13th to 17th of July 2026. But right now we are calling on all our scholars, all our professors, our PhD holders, anyone who would really like to be a part of this, to please send in their papers. Registration and participation for this symposium is free, but the submission date is due on the 10th of February 2026. And you will be notified of acceptance by March 15th, 2026. Our keynote speakers are Professor Kofi Agau and Professor Olabode Omojola. Please, we would really like you to be a part of this. So I will see if I can send the link to the chats. Let me see, copy to the chat so that we can all participate. Yes, I have done that so that we can all go there, find the information, and send in our papers. Thank you so much, everyone, for being so patient, for taking this time out to celebrate Mr. Ebenezer Omole. I remain Modupe Ige Kachi. It has been my pleasure and my honor hosting this particular Organ House concert and seminar series. Until next week. Oh, yes, one more thing. The first Thursday of February, we'll be having Professor Kofi Agawu himself lead the conversation for our reading series. So please don't miss that. It is very important. We'll be discussing chapter 4 of his book, of the book that we are discussing at the moment. So please do be a part of that. Next month, first Thursday of that month is our reading series. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.